Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the technical trader at thetechtrader.com. It's Thursday night, March the 10th. These are the charts of the day. Well, we've had a interesting day today. It was quite negative, but we did get a nice rally in the afternoon to save the day, but I'm not sure we're saving the trend. That was a nice short covering type rally. And some of the oils were firm, some of the metals were firm. In particular, silver was firm. We haven't really looked at silver as much as gold. I want to point out that little stocks like AG and EXK moved nicely. Look at the move here off this low near 240, all the way up to just under 6. The stock has gone more than triple. And if you're looking back at the overall chart pattern, you'll see it's come down, way down, over the last couple of years from the mid-20s all the way down to 2 and change. So losing 90% of its value in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave decline. For me, I think silver's seen its low, so is gold. The underlying technicals here are really surging, particularly on OBV. The stock's overbought, no question, but it just went across this resistance. And we may very well see silver extend over the next few days to get this up to near 7.5. Keep an eye out on it. AKS, a steel stock, still had a great day today. AKS held support on the pullback and popped. You can see a little double top. Now, if this gets through tomorrow, through 420, you could very well get a run that extends the run in silver, the metal stocks, particularly steel. My target's 5 3/4 or more. Moving down to US Steel, phenomenal move at the end of the day on big volume. The stock popped 29 million shares, surging on OBV, new highs ahead of price. You can see where resistance lies here. The next target has got to be near 18, everybody. 18. So if this accelerates tomorrow and blows through here, it could be a very strong move up. MT's another. That's ArcelorMittal, it's the biggest Indian steel company. You can see this has dropped from the 13 range down to 3. But since then, it's gone more than 5. Also reaching resistance, also pulling back, and also snapping back today on nearly 20 million. If we can get it through here, this could run like the wind. The next target is near 6 here, and then we're looking at 6 3/4, 7. ATSG with a significant move yesterday and then a pullback, but today was a beautifully positive inside day. Looking at the weekly chart, you can see this big uptrend is getting it up near resistance, but I do think you're going to get some follow through when you may see 16 short term. Boy, the Brazilian market has really recovered. Look at the move on the BRZU, taking it from about 6 to nearly 20 or over 20. This is more than tripled in just a few short weeks. And more importantly, the major declining top line has been taken out. Now there's key lateral multiple top resistance up here near 23 1/4. I think we're going to get there short term. Somewhere about 23 1/4, my short term target. Watch this one for upside move potentially as early as tomorrow. And if we get that follow through, take it and leave it. Little BTU has been moving like crazy as well. Now today, another extension move from 546 all the way to 713 before backing off to 639. It was still up 50 cents, 8.5%, 14.7 million, the second biggest volume in a long time. But more importantly, when you take out some of this resistance here and look at the really tight trend, let me eliminate some lines for you. I'll be right there. I should have done this before. Okay, there you have it. This is the trend. It's very strong, very short-term pattern. But you can see, looking at a 50-minute chart, how strong this has been. And with a coil here at the end of the day, it wouldn't shock me to see this extend up towards 8.5, my next target. Let's keep an eye on BTU tomorrow. Could be powerful. Now that it's across the 50 in resistance, the next target again could be even as high as 10, folks. Yep. This high here, 9 3/4. Let's call that that's a 50% move even from here. BUFF is very similar to ATSG in that yesterday it had a major breakaway gap and today a positive inside day. I'm looking for more upside. I think the stock gets to 28. Stay tuned. Looks good. 20 days to cover nearly. This thing's got to extend a little bit. Christopher and Banks, this retailer exploded as well today. Folks, are you getting a theme here? We're seeing a lot of stocks make major breakout moves. This one filled the gap nearly today So I looked for a pullback consolidation, but if it has follow through, we could see 3 3/4, 4. 17.6 days to cover on that one. Do you feel like a short squeeze is underway? How about Castilium? I loved it up here. It broke down there. We were stopped at about 7. Came all the way down to 3 and change, 383. Rally right back to 7. Today's high 706. Keep an eye on this one. If it extends, I would expect it, if it gets through this line, to explode towards 9. Dollar General, major breakout to new all-time highs. When you see that in this kind of a market, you always have to ask yourself, how much more can this one go? Well, based on this pattern, I'm looking at $90, $90.92. Up there. ERII, fantastic move of late. First, the run up to resistance, to pull back to support, then an explosive move from 6 3/4 to over 10 today. That's a 50% move just in the last few days. I'm hearing we're looking, this is a swing trade that I think gets to 13, folks. Strong momentum. Good volume as well. And still nearly 10 days to cover. Now, in addition to NUGT, there's JNUG. Both of these are incredible uptrends. The pullback got right to the breakout point, snapped back, and today followed through. We had a mini range day, but on a breakaway gap with good volume. Keep your eye on JNUG over 88. It's off to the races to 105. And Nugget, should we get out over the 71.5 range, I could see 81 to 85 in that zone. This could be huge. Just keep an eye on this going forward. MXPT with a pop today. Now, it didn't have a great close, so I'm going to reserve judgment on this one, but it did break out of the base pattern on big volume. Keep an eye on today's high, because if it gets to 235, it could be one of those stocks that goes to 3, 3.5, or even 4. NPTN, one of our old favorites, doing its thing again after a sharp pullback, held support at the trend line. It popped for 2 days in a row. It's a little bit of resistance right there. If we get through it, expect to see a test of the highs up around 13, my next target. Big day for PEIX, that's Pacific Ethanol. Key breakout today with monster volume for 4.4 million. I would not be surprised to see it test 6 1/4 next. There's still 7.3 days to cover. Breakout on Party City today. The major declining top line was taken out, as was lateral resistance with a breakaway gap, a strong volume. Didn't close well, it closed near the middle of the range, but that's because resistance backed it off of the 13 range. The high today, 1326. The high here, 1317, 1308. So kind of like backed off resistance. If it gets through that level, I would look for a quick move to 14 1/4. Silver Wheaton, right now my favorite silver stock on the senior sector. I think this one's headed towards 19, 19.5. Enough said. TLRD today had a big move, really breaking out of the last couple days and moving up to fill the gap and through it. The next target would have to be a move towards 21, 21.5. And then maybe the gap comes in around 25. So watch this one for some follow through. And lastly, YRD with a major move today, jumped 27% on 1.7 million, which is almost record volume post IPO for that, other than the IPO day. The key is the V bottom here, the platform, and today was the big breakout. Getting across key resistance, I now expect to make a run at the highs near 10. Now look at the short side. There are some stocks I want to discuss. AFOP, Lice Fiber Optics, still in a disastrous downtrend. Dropped another couple percent today, but you can see that the wedge that I had drawn in here broke, and it seems to be headed lower. The bottom of the channel and lateral support around 11. That's my next target. May even go down towards the bottom of the range around the 9.5 range. 10 range, excuse me. Amberella, another one that looks like a disaster. It's hard for me to believe the stock could drop 100 points and still be rolling over and looking ugly. But that's what's happening. This recent rising wedge near the resistance, price, and moving average rolled over. If it takes out 37 3/4, and we're right on the precipice of that, see a quick test of 33, and then potentially all the way down into the mid-20s, even low 20s. My God. CTSH, Cognizant, topped, snapped back right to the moving average, failed as a beginning to roll over. I would look for something between 49 and 51 on this one. Harman International, nasty looking chart. It bounced off the bottom of the channel, but in a rising wedge near the 50, and it's failing as well. He thinks it's going to be 62-ish, maybe even 55-ish. Those are my targets. Inogen, a weak biotechnology stock, continues to roll over after this massive head and shoulder top, and then this rising wedge, almost a no-brainer short there at 41, subsequently dropped to 28 and now formed another wedge. If we see more downside, wouldn't be shocked to see mid-20s. LXFT, a boxer swing short, dropped to $1.33 today. It's right on the verge of breaking down here, I believe. And if it does that, looking for 47.5, 44, and then maybe much lower than that. And lastly is RCL, also a boxer swing short. You can see the rising flag right to the resistance zone, and now it's been rolling over. It's bound 5 days in a row. If it gets below today's low, under 69, watch for a quick move to 64.5, maybe even something in the high 50s. So folks, there's the long and short of it. This is HB signing off. Good night.